Hi guys, it's Jack and Aaron here from PGF. Now today we've got a review for you for a game called RAD ROGGERS. Now this game key's been sent over to us by GamingLife.com and they've kindly asked us to do a quick video review of the game. So we're going to run through some of our thoughts and feelings about this game now.
From the developers of the Duke Nukem series, a retro-style 2.5D platform game about a boy who gets sucked into his games console to restore the Elder Tree as guardian of the land.
Taking its inspiration from games like Commander Keen, Conquer, Rough and Tumble and Jazz Jack Rabbit, the game aspires to bring back the 90s with a blast. RAD ROGGERS is a full game based on a previous release by 3D Realms called RAD ROGGERS World 1.
Adopting a nostalgic gameplay style with lots of throwbacks and references to games it tries to emulate. However, is it just another piece of fan service, or does RAD ROGGERS stand up on its own in 2018?
So first up, for the graphics for the game, they are great, very polished and vibrant. We've got plenty of customization in the graphics menu as well, which is nice to see. And the art style itself refers back to the games it's imitating without being a complete rip-off, although personally I found there to be a juxtaposition between the 3D graphics of the game and the pixel art of the menu and the HUD, etc. I found it doesn't work too well, but that is again personal preference. We gave the graphics rating 8 out of 10.
The premise of the Pixelverse underworld is interesting and works well with the overall story of the game. It is somewhat unique, although is essentially the same as the underworld of similar titles such as Mario. It adds a little depth and change of pace, but doesn't make or break the game.
There could be a lot more variety in the types of missions available. Some of them are very similar and they don't change a lot throughout the game. We're looking at essentially running through the level to collect 4 separate items and then get to the end door. However, we did find the pogo missions to be a welcome change of pace. However, they were brief and not that interesting, so it would have been nice to see a lot more of those same mini-games in different forms.
Overall, for gameplay, it's a 7 out of 10 from us. It's fun to play and tries to innovate, but the levels are very samey. Control-wise, there's nothing groundbreaking here, but it is easy to pick up. It's a simple game at heart and doesn't try to be anything it's not.
We would have liked to have a few more options for attacks, as well as being able to switch weapons on the fly. We did find the gameplay does suffer a lot from a lack of polish, especially the hitboxes on platforms and enemies, which can be a little bit hit and miss. Obviously that's going to lead to a poor experience, especially when trying to hit a perfect run. However, this could well be patched out in the future by the developer.
Overall, it's a 7 out of 10 for the control system on this game. The game's fun to play and can be rewarding, but bugs let the side down on this front.
The tone of the game for us is very much dependent on whether parental controls are turned on or off. And while we do like to have the choice, we can't really see why they ever needed to make the game adult at all. The art style and premise of the game is not particularly adult themed, so there's a strong disparity between the tone of the content and the look and feel of the game.
Possibly it's 3D Realms trying to throw back to the Duke Nukem days, but it doesn't really pull it off, and the game would have been fine without any of the adult jokes that aren't particularly funny.
We did notice a number of glitches and bugs in the gameplay and found that they could be frustrating, with vision being obscured for some of the time that we were playing. Other players have also reported game saves being corrupted or deleted with no backups. Again, this could well be something that's patched out later on down the line.
The game has a vast amount of collectibles of different varieties and will take multiple playthroughs to get all the gems and so on, with some of the levels offering multiple paths through, meaning that they will actually have to be played again. Depending on the type of gamer, this may be a boon or a fault, but if you do pick up this game and you are a completionist, be prepared for some long evenings.
For us, the replayability gets a 4 out of 10. Again, uninspired level design lets it down. However, this score could be pushed way up if you do love completing a game all the way to 100%, because there's no way that you can do it without doing it at least twice.
The sound of the game works well. The gameplay effects and the music complement the visual feast and the art style of the game. However, we found the voice acting to be rather lackluster.
As much as we enjoyed the sound design of the game, we can only rate 5 out of 10 for the poor voice acting and the awful jokes.
The game is fun, with plenty of nostalgia from the 90s platform games that it takes its inspiration. Definitely worth a look, especially if you have an interest in that particular genre and are looking for a more modern perspective on it.
However, it is let down by some uninspired design and contrasting themes that leaves the game feeling disjointed. For us, that adult themed jokes were completely left field, not worth including, which did ruin the game somewhat, and as we mentioned before, weren't particularly funny.
The graphics are excellent and really bring the game world to life with incredible depth and detail, but the levels themselves are basic and not particularly challenging.
Overall, we enjoyed playing RAD ROGERS and would certainly consider playing more of the game.
Although we can't see 100% completion on the horizon for this one, it's one to pick up and play every now and then, but it's not going to hold any attention for long periods of time. We've given it a 6 out of 10 in total. Obviously, if there was bugs to be ironed out, we may well be able to push that rating up a little bit higher.
Yeah, definitely worth picking up if you want to have a go at it. It's a brilliant visual feast for the senses.
It looks amazing,
but it falls short.
Yeah, there's just not enough.
A few bits. It's so close.